Yo guys, it's good to see you again. For those of you who don't know, my name is David Joseph Johnson Jr., aka Ultimate DJ 05 at gmail.com. But yeah, anyways, it's good to see you guys again. Sorry I haven't posted in a minute, but we're back here with another video. And before we get down to anything, let's roll the intro. Editor, let's go.
1. Please subscribe to this channel so that I can someday use my real voice. 2. It's past 9 PM my G, have you taken the shower yet?
Oh, right. Yeah, I should probably go do that.
I'm gonna go take a shower real quick. I'll be right back.
Eventually.
Alright, guys, I'm back from my shower. Editor, was that good?
Yeah, let's go.
So, as I was saying, what's up, guys? It's been a minute. Sorry I haven't posted in a minute. I've been busy with life, but we're back once again with the new video, and today is a bit of a different video. Something that's been on my heart for a while. I thought I would talk about it and discuss it with you guys. Today we're gonna be talking about a little thing called insecurity. Insecurity. You've probably heard this many times, let's be real, guys, and today I just want to talk about it, my experiences with insecurity, and some tips to help you guys overcome your insecurities. But before we do that, we must define what an insecurity is. See, I got my second phone here with some notes on it, so let's define what insecurity is. According to webmd.com, insecurity is a feeling of inadequacy, not being good enough, and uncertainty. It produces anxiety about your goals, relationships, and ability to handle certain situations. Of course, the link will be attached in the description if you want to read a little more. The article itself mentions 4 types of insecurity: attachment insecurity, social insecurity, body image insecurity, job insecurity. For me, I think we're going to be speaking specifically about the social insecurity and body image insecurity. Although, for me personally, I couldn't really tell you how to handle attachment insecurity, like as the website says, and the editor will show you. Attachment insecurity is more talking about like someone who does struggle with attachments because they have been abandoned before. And for me personally, that is not the video, and I am definitely not the person to help guide you through this, right? And about job insecurity, it's like, oh no, I don't have a job, or Marsha's gonna be promoted over me and I might not have a job. Like, those are all very valid situations, but as I am only 18 years old and I just turned 18, I am unfortunately not equipped to handle these situations. So, though you know someone who is struggling with that, I would suggest getting the proper help, and ultimately suggest forming a proper relationship with Jesus Christ, as God can give you the peace of mind to navigate difficult situations like this. So, today we're talking about social and body image insecurity. And social insecurity specifically surrounds the way we are perceived by our peers and the ease of which we interact with them. It goes on to mention that this insecurity can be a low-level problem, or can blossom into a full-blown social anxiety disorder or social phobia. For example, let's just say you are in a group of people, right? And you guys are all doing your own things. Maybe you might feel insecure about how your life is compared to their lives, or how your talents are compared to their talents, and it might manifest in some sort of insecurity because maybe you feel as if the things that you have aren't as good as the things that they have. Another insecurity that I would like to mention is body image insecurity, and we in this generation, I don't think I really need to get too much into body image insecurity because it's prevalent throughout so much of our country. We see so many unrealistic expectations about how a person should look, about how a person should sound, about how a person should carry and dress themselves. And while there are healthy ways to encourage people how to take care of themselves, unfortunately, there are a lot of negative stereotypes, and a lot of negative influences, a lot of negative mindsets and thoughts centered around one's body image.
Hey guys, it's the editor. Would you believe me if I told you that while recording David accidentally stopped the recording of the video.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough.
And my blood didn't even realize until after he finished talking.
Bruh.
So, we've had to re-record it. Sorry about that. And please enjoy the rest of the video.
This ultimately shows that these body image issues can affect anyone, no matter what they look like, whether they're obese, whether they're thin. It doesn't matter, right? And with that information, with that background, I want to present a challenge to the perceived view of insecurities of a bad thing. I want to ask you this. What if insecurities aren't as bad as you think they are? What do I mean? When I think of the concept of having an insecurity, I think of it less of a handicap and more of a call to action of sorts, presenting you with two options. You can A, figure out what's going on with, figure out why you have that insecurity and find ways to deal with it, to cope with it, and to ultimately rise above it. Or you can B, let it fester in your heart and then manifest it in toxic ways that are not good for your development and growth as a person. So, I present to you as an answer to that challenge that an insecurity isn't as bad as you think it is because it allows you to grow. It tells you, it shows you that you need to grow as a person, right? And I think that there are two ways you can look at insecurity. Two ways that I will get into right about now. Method number 1. Reflect on the abilities that you have that are unique to you. And if you don't know them, do the necessary work to find out those qualities. Now, what do I mean by that? I present to you an example. Let's just say you're in a business, right? And you have 3 main coworkers, and you guys are all like the main people, right? We're gonna name your coworkers Portia, Marsha, and Caroline. Portia handles the graphic design element of the business, right? Marsha handles the social media promotion of the business, right? Caroline handles the hiring of the business, like the hiring portion, like, who gets hired and things like that, right? But what do? You don't do what they can do, right? You can't do what they can do. So the temptation is to feel inadequate, right? And just in general, you might find yourself in a group where you do have these people who can do certain things, but you can't do them, right? Like, they have these things that you don't have. They have talents, qualities. They might even have possessions that you don't have, right? So the question is, what do you do in that scenario? I challenge those of you who are in a scenario like this to leverage what you have, because as a friend of mine once told me, a human being is 1 in 400 trillion. The chances of you being born again, I don't mean literally born again, but someone who's exactly like you in personality and thought and deed, being born after you are born is 1 in 400 trillion. That means you are a unique person with unique qualities that you bring to the table, which is quite funny because, this is the table right here. You bring things to the table that no one else can. And for this first method, it is up to you to do the work to find out what you bring to the table and leverage that, to leverage how you can contribute to the group. So let's just say you go back to the business example, right? We've already established what Portia, Marsha, and Caroline can do, but what can you do? For example, you can negotiate business deals. You can find new partners to help sponsor the business while Portia, Marsha, and Caroline do their own things, right? Because you have abilities that they don't have, and it's up to you to leverage that. And if you don't know what those things are, I suggest that you do the necessary work to find them, whether it's enrolling in certain classes, whether it's getting involved in local volunteer operations, getting involved in your local church, just finding ways to apply yourself, maybe even taking up a new craft, a new discipline, so that you learn more about yourself and learn more about what you contribute, what you bring to a team operation, right? Because in my honest opinion, that insecurity is something that should be used to help you learn more about you, to help you learn how you can grow as a person, grow as an individual, right? It is used to help you grow and elevate yourself as an individual, my friends. So back to the example of the business, you can leverage your strengths and weaknesses to contribute to the business so that the business can continue to grow, guys, right? This brings me to my next point about insecurities. Because maybe you already know what you bring to the table, you just don't think it's enough. Like, you already know you can do a certain thing, and maybe other people can do it, but you think that in the grand scheme of things, it isn't enough. And to those of you who might be in that predicament, this is what I present to you. I present to you that you guys should use your insecurities as a tool to seek help or to push yourself in your craft or discipline so that you don't have those insecurities anymore. And maybe you won't completely eviscerate those insecurities, but at the very least, you will understand that those insecurities don't need to have the power over you that they may have right now. Let me give you a more personal example. So, it's my senior year of high school, going into it, I'm about to graduate high school, things are cool. And I have more of a leadership role in the band, right? My school band, because, I do school band stuff. It was a nice time in my life. There was a point in time that I felt extremely insecure about my abilities, about how I contributed, and what I brought to the table. I felt insecure because there are people in the same positions that I was, people who are higher up than me, who did things and had a certain cool edge to them that I found that I lacked. And I'm not saying I couldn't have it, it's just that they had it in a way that I couldn't have it in, and it made me feel inadequate about the ways I could contribute, because I was like, if they can do these things but I can't do those things, it's like, what's the point? Like, I don't deserve to be here because like they can do things that I can't. Like, I'm not them. Like, I did feel insecure for a really long time about my abilities, right? And something that helped me was, like I said, just pushing myself in my craft. Because I entered into a competition called Solo and Ensemble that I made a video about a couple months ago. I practiced a solo, and as you guys know, I got the highest rating you could possibly get in that competition. A superior. Well, it's technically not the highest rating you could get, superior with distinction, but that's not the point. Point is, I got a superior, right? And the thing is, I'd wanted to do that solo for over a year. Like, I'd wanted to do it for a very long time, but due to personal issues, I hadn't been able to get around to doing it. But when it came down to my senior year, and considering all the insecurity I was facing, I decided to put my head down and develop myself in that craft, in that element of my craft. And by doing so, I was able to learn more about myself as a person, but to also push my musicianship to a level it had never seen before, to a level that I had never seen before. And as a result, that's where I got to where I was, so that even though I did still have the feelings of insecurity, I understood that I could still contribute, right? And it also helped me with my confidence, in where I was like, hey man, I did this thing and I can contribute. That I may not be able to contribute in the ways that others can, but I have my own unique talents, and I have the ability to develop my unique talents. And by developing my unique talents, I'm able to gain more confidence and gain more wisdom, knowledge, and experience in my specific field or discipline, right? So I did that, and it helped me to grow as a person, and as I took advice from other people, which is something you should definitely do as well, about like the areas where I found myself lacking in, and I looked at the examples of others, I was able to use their examples as well to grow as a person, to grow into who I am now and who I will be in a very long time, right? Because if I had to be honest with you guys, a lot of people in my age range, because I'm 18 years old, they don't really know what they want to do with their lives, right? They don't know what they bring to the table, and the thing is, in our culture in America, by this time you're kind of expected to know what are you going to do, or at the very least have like a rough idea of like what are you going to do with your life. And the thing is, a lot of people don't have that, right? And with that pressure, you might start to feel insecure, you might start to feel pressured, you might start to feel like you have a chip on your shoulder, right? And I submit to you all that having that insecurity, that pressure, that chip on your shoulder is a sign that you need to grow up. And I don't mean like, like grow up, stop crying about your life, no, I mean grow up as in you need to now look at yourself, look at the talents you have, look at the abilities you have, and learn how to leverage your strengths and your weaknesses for your personal development and for the enrichment of others, should you be placed in a situation where you can potentially contribute to such a thing. Now is the time where you have to learn how to leverage your strengths and weaknesses, to learn how to grow in certain areas, to learn how you operate. And if you don't know enough about yourself yet, if you don't truly know who you are and what you want out of life, now is the time to find that out. Now is the time to develop that knowledge of yourself, so that when you are put in a situation that you might struggle with insecurity, you're able to understand who you are, understand what you can contribute, and understand how you can leverage your strengths and weaknesses to contribute to a specific task or situation, so that you can ultimately grow in. Because ultimately, an insecurity is uncomfortable, right? Having that feeling of being less than is uncomfortable, but in that uncomfortability, it allows you to potentially grow, or it allows you to become better. It allows you to grow stronger, to grow more skills, or it allows you to become more bitter, to become more self-hating, and allows you to regress as a person. And insecurity, at the end of the day, is here to make you grow, my friends, right? For me, that's what I've learned, that an insecurity is not there to keep you down, but it's instead to tell you to grow up, to grow in your areas, to grow. Because ultimately, through that growth, you will be able to learn more about yourself. You will be able to grow in the confidence you have in your specific area, in your specific situation. By growing into yourself, you'll understand where you belong, where you fit in, right? So I think that having that insecurity is a perfect tool to help you grow, to stimulate growth, to be a catalyst for enrichment in your life. Anyways, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I know this video was a crazy video to make. I had to reshoot it twice. Very hectic, but I'm grateful to God that I had this opportunity to share this with you guys, and I really hope that this does encourage and bless you guys. This helps you guys to go beyond your insecurities and to find ways to grow from it, to leverage whatever growth opportunities you can get out from that. But yeah, the usual, like, subscribe, whatever. I am trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of September, so I really would appreciate it if you guys would share this video with your friends and just learn from what I'm saying and apply this to your own lives. Obviously, I'm quite young. I don't have all the answers, but I do hope that this does give those of you who might be struggling with some sort of insecurity a different perspective on how to deal with these things. So with that, yeah, I just want to say God bless you, much love, and peace.